So that is exciting. Hello to everyone in Facebook land. You guys can say hi. We are just going to be talking about the Tower Garden today, and we've got some show and tell people, and they're going to share their Tower Gardens. And first, I'm going to just show some information about why Tower Garden might make sense, okay? And so we're going to do that first. I'm going to share my sound in case anybody who knows that you definitely want to do that when you're sharing your Zoom. If you've got a video. So let's go to here. Here we go. So Tower Garden is a part of the Juice Plus company. So I want to definitely show you what all we have with the Juice Plus company so you understand why Tower Garden exists, okay? So I have been with the company for 23 years, and the company is all about health and inspiring healthy living around the world. They are all about fruits and vegetables. So it was kind of only natural that they would integrate the Tower Garden. So 25 years or more ago, they invented a way to get fruits, vegetables, berries into your diet every day, either by chewables or capsules from raw, vine ripened, non-genetically modified fruits, vegetables, and berries. Okay. So whenever I did do any presentations before, people would be like, oh, so do you just eat capsules all day and drink shakes? I'm like, no, we still, want to eat healthy. We still say eat lots of fruits and vegetables because you need the mass of the fruits and vegetables. You need the fiber, the water, all those things. And so Juice Plus is there to bridge the gap between what you eat and what you should be eating, which is a lot of fruits and vegetables. So that's why Juice Plus, the micronutrients are born. And then we have the plant-based omega, which is a way to get algae into your diet. And that is your omega instead of fish. And then we have the complete shake, which I know you guys have probably seen a lot of different posts about. People live off the complete shake. We just had one at our house, the second one for the day. So the Tower Garden was something that the company was looking for, what is their next thing that they want to do? And someone had introduced them to the Tower Garden, and it was the mom of the chief horticulturist at Epcot talked to a mom friend and told our company about Tower Garden. And so it was just natural because we were always talking about eating vine ripened, non-genetically modified, no herbicide, pesticides, fruits and vegetables, and as fresh as can be. And so this was a perfect match to have a Tower Garden. And the person from Epcot created it so that we could all have one on our porch. He had been giving tours at Epcot saying, oh, isn't this great how we do this at the land exhibit? And people would say, well, how can we do this at home? He invented that. Okay. So that's our line of products. And I always, whenever I'm in an audience, I have to show this because fruits and vegetables are the key to better health and preventing disease. So you want to eat as many as possible, not as minimal as possible, but as many as possible for super optimal health. And you can see why, just for cancer alone, the role that fruits and vegetables can play in preventing cancer. Okay. So the American Cancer Society poster says, reduce your risk. And what do they put? Fruits and vegetables. And then for pretty much every disease and disorder, you look and see what's the recommendation. It's going to be eat lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. So all day long, preferably you're eating fruits and vegetables. And because they are picked early, when they are, brought to our stores, we need to eat even more nowadays. 7 is the minimum for children, up to 13 for adults, servings every single day. Athletes even more because they're creating even more oxidative stress. And so we need lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. We don't eat enough. The typical amount, when they survey, is about 2. People are eating maybe 2 a day, and we need to eat so much more. Okay. So part of the problem is that it's transported for a long period of time. We have, food supply problems. We have pesticide problems and some genetic modification problems. And then there's the cost, right? So it's good that people are now looking at, hey, maybe I could grow some of my own, because really, how how much does a seed cost? Not very much, right? So if we can grow things on our own porch or in our backyard from seed, it's going to be so much less, right? And so I love the Tower Garden. We've had ours for, I don't know, maybe 11 years now or 12. And it wasn't something that we were great at, gardening or anything. And this does not require a green thumb. It just requires a little bit of putting it together and checking on it, harvesting it, and making sure that everything's going well. So what is it? It's a vertical aeroponic hydroponic system of growing that you can grow almost any vegetable, herb, flower, and many of the fruits. It conserves water because it recycles the water with the nutrients. And I love that it requires very little space. It's like 3 feet in diameter and 5 feet high, okay? Here is Tim Blank and the Epcot land exhibit where the Tower Garden was born, basically. And so we're going to look at a quick video. I can't wait to get to the part where you guys get to see some people's Tower Gardens, but here is how it works.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your Tower Garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
Okay, I love that song. I love the video too. Well, Tower Garden is in the news. It continues to grow in the news. You know, whether it's in this, what is this called? I can't see it on my, what is it? Home and Garden? Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah, Better Homes and Gardens.
Right. I couldn't see it because mine's blocked on here. And just, you know, President Clinton at one homeless shelter in LA. It's in the O'Hare Airport. This is a rooftop in New York. And let's see. So those are just some examples of where you might find some commercial versions. And this is not a picture of me on the left. My dirt garden never grew that good. I don't know about you guys, but we were never that good at a dirt garden. But what really gets me excited is that you don't have to take up a whole plot of land to have the Tower Garden, you know, because it grows vertically. I just feel like it's so much smarter, and you don't have to get dirt under your nails and all that, you know. So it's just so easy, and it brings a lot of joy. This is one of my friends, and she had posted this. Just look at her face. That's what happens when we have a Tower Garden. We could go out and harvest our own food. And there's all different types of herbs that could be grown on the Tower Garden, along with any kind of leafy greens. Those are the easiest. Tower Gardens in schools are amazing. Kids get so excited with the Tower Garden. They love to grow. They love to name the Tower Gardens, and they love to eat off of them. And so it comes ready to grow, comes with the nutrients. It comes with just testing with the pH kit. And with seeds also, the two kind of say electronics, they're not heavy electronics or anything, just a pump and a timer, those come with it also. So everything comes ready to grow, okay? And, the person who invited you could share a little bit more about that. What you do is you put seeds in this thing called rock wool, which is spun volcanic fiber, and then you wait for them to sprout and you just stick those into your tower garden and then it grows into plants. It's that simple, really. And here's how fast it can grow. It is amazing. Okay, and then it's about $56 a month for 12 months. And like I said, we've had ours for like 11 or 12 years and it's going strong, and it was paid off the very first year. So Tower Garden is something that you invest in it for just a little while, but it continues to pay you over and over and over again. And whether you're in a camper or on a balcony or just in your backyard, Tower Garden is fun for the whole family. Love to eat off of it. Our kids grew up with it and they love it. We also have a home version, which you might see some people with their home version tonight. And that was created specifically for indoors, and it has everything attached to it to make it easy to grow indoors. So we're going to go to some of our special guests, and we're going to start with Elena today, because I know she's got 2 kiddos and she's got a husband who's willing to help out and watch them while we do this. So go ahead. Thank you, hubby.
She said, thank you, hubby. Thanks, Matt, for holding down the fort. I know. Yep. They're over here in the living room, and I'm cooking tacos, utilizing actually some of my Tower Garden ingredients. So you gotta love cooking with littles, because if you could have seen, and I'll go out there and show you, this is one that just recently grew on my Tower Garden with some lettuce that we'll chop up and put on our tacos tonight. But the green ones that my son actually picked prematurely, because again, growing with toddlers, was literally this big, but I was able to use it tonight. So super exciting that, we have that as an option. But a little bit about our Tower Garden experience. We've been growing, say hi, as he's controlling the TV. It's chaos. You want to come outside and see your plants? We started growing in 2015, a year ago, after I had learned about Juice Plus in the Tower Garden. And my husband, just like with getting started on Juice Plus, said no every which way he possibly could. And I was like, well, I have a credit card that's linked to our bank account. I'm just going to get this and you'll thank me later. And I'll tell you, he is obsessed with our Tower Garden. He absolutely loves that we get to grow fresh fruits and veggies on our patio. We've had it in San Diego. So she's traveled across the country, which is another really cool thing, because there's nothing more upsetting than putting so much time and effort into a garden. And then if you move, you have to leave it behind. So we got a plethora amount of tomatoes, kale, herbs, you name it. And when the season ended, we basically took it apart, cleaned it up, and it moved across country, and we set it up here. So just to kind of show you guys, and Sharon, stop me if you have any questions for me. But she's, again, 2015, so she's got quite the tan. And I'm gonna clean her up a little bit this weekend, just to kind of remove some plants that got fried by the sun, because it's really hot here in Florida. But you can see my rosemary is just insane. Nice. I'm actually growing for a girlfriend of mine who makes rosemary infused tequila for her margaritas. So I'll be giving her some. I've got snap peas, kale, green beans. Here's my little peppers that are growing through, and I actually have some more seedlings off the back, squash, celery. So we love it. We really have had so much fun learning with it too, because let me tell you, I have a black thumb. I can't even keep succulents alive. My plants in pots look pathetic because this thing waters itself. So it basically takes care of itself. I take a look at it every single day, but really don't have to do much. It's the gift that keeps giving. So we've loved having it. And I actually just got a second one from a girlfriend of mine who is moving across country, or excuse me, across overseas, and she's not taking it with her. So she gave me her Tower Garden, and I'll be growing for mothers in our community.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's great, Elena. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And Elena is in West Florida. Okay, so who else Tampa. Do we have? Yes, Tampa. We have Inez. Let's go to Inez. And she's got an indoor tower garden with some seedlings, I think. Okay, Inez, go ahead and unmute.
I just need to unmute myself.
Yes, you got
it. Which I got myself unmuted now. My lights went out because I have them set to go off at night. So I'm going to turn on my flashlight.
Okay.
And this might not even light. Okay, so this is, can you see?
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, so last night when I showed them to you, they were all down. So this morning I decided I'd turn the plants back up. And they're still going down. So my question to whoever knows more about a tower garden, this is my first one, and I'm really excited about it. I just want to know how to do it well so that it continues to grow. And in doing that, how do you get your plants to grow up instead of down? So yeah, this is mine. My first try, I put the whole thing together by myself. And let me tell you, I don't think I've ever put together as much stuff as I have in the last year, because I don't usually do that myself. I usually bring somebody in to do it, but it was just great learning how to do this.
That's awesome. So you put that together by yourself?
Yeah, and I even put together a whole shelf and everything. I've been doing a lot by myself.
Well, I think great. I think Janie, hers was drooping down. I actually reached out to her. I'm like, Janie, what's going on with your tower? But let's see Janie's. You're going to see what happened after hers was drooping. And I think it's just a matter of a week or two. It's going to be just so big, because I'm sure yours is big now, Janie, right? Let me see.
Yes, it is actually big. Here, I'll turn so you can see it behind me. I'll flip it around in a second. I know. Mine is, so as you guys heard from the video, there's a Tower Garden Home, and then there's a Tower Garden Flex. And Flex was the first one. Doug and Sharon have several of them at their house, and it has a bigger base. It holds 20 gallons of water. And I personally think it's better for outside, because that much weight is a lot less easy to tip over if it were windy, or I know people down in Florida get hurricanes and stuff. So it's nice to have those heavy base bottoms for that. And so anyhow, this particular one is the Flex, and I did get an extension kit for the top of it. So it's an extra 32 plant cells on a bottom that's 20 plant cells. So here, I'll flip this so you can see it better. But yeah, up here, this is actually, they call it the microgreen section, but as you can clearly see, it's not a microgreen for me.
Wow.
I put the things that are going to grow. I put the things that are going to grow tall up there, like the chard and things like that, so they don't block anything else. So that's what I put up there, is lots of greens. And then down toward the bottom, you want things that will vine. So I've got like squash. You can see it's so cute. There's these, can you see those little yellow ones in there starting? Yellow squash?
Yes.
I don't know if you can see them, but anyhow, those are coming. And then I did get some cucumber, and so that's there. There's some tomato plants that are just blooming now. So hopefully in the next week or two, I'll have some tomatoes. I did not plant every cell, as you can see, because I've done that in the past and learned that that's too much. It creates too much crowding and the plants can't get enough sun. So with this 20, the typical one, like I said, would stop about here after 20 plant cells down below. But I bought this kit that comes through the company for an extra 32 cells. And again, I didn't plant every cell. As you can see, there's some empty ones here and there. Plus this side gets less sun. So this is nasturtium. This is an edible flower, and it's beautiful on a salad plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have some snap peas coming here, and just lots of cucumbers. I usually plant some herbs, but I didn't get those on there this year, but I did plant tons of different types of greens. I love this like rainbow chard. It's so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, but yeah, this is my tower, and it's thriving, and it's so nice because it's so simple. It's just an easy way. I don't have to water anything. I do have a tomato plant on my back deck that's kind of dying because I forget to water it, where this thing is so easy. You don't have to worry about that at all. So no weeding, no watering for people that have a hard time bending over to weed gardens. This is a great solution. And to have all these plants growing vertically in a 3-foot space is genius. So anyhow, I absolutely love mine. And I love that it's food safe PVC. And I don't think we mentioned that enough. And that's super important to me. I don't want neurotoxins in my food, no phthalates or anything like that. And Tim Blank, the creator of this, found a way. He searched and found food safe PVC, which is huge to me. So that's my tower.
Janie, you have a couple questions, but I also want to show you. This is her tower June 2nd.
Yeah, I planted it 5 weeks ago. I think today. Yeah. Yep. And Inez, it was droopy at first because I kind of, Doug and Sharon are good about planting from seed, which I do when I plant inside. I always plant from seed, but when I'm planting outside, I usually buy cuttings from a local greenhouse and I rinse off all the dirt. And then I take those cuttings with their nice roots and slide them in the rock wool, because you do need that rock wool so that your plants aren't falling out and flopping all over the place. But until the roots get established in that rock wool, they might look a little floppy at first. And so that's what I found personally on the way that I do it. But they grow great doing it that way too. So, and from seed as well.
So beautiful.
Hey, Janie, this is Doug. I have a question. Tell me again where you live.
I live in Illinois, Northern Illinois. So our growing season here is very short compared to you guys down in Florida. So yeah,
but your growing season right now is perfect. It looks like it's really happy. So we have a long growing season, but it's kind of like, it's not, the plants aren't quite as happy in the totally hot summer, but they'll still grow, as you're going to see on ours. We keep it going, but that looks like our winter. It's just beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we've had Illinois, Northern Illinois. I think it's Lake Michigan. We have a lot of humidity here too, similar to you guys in the summertime. And I mean, today is a gorgeous day at 75. It's kind of odd for July, usually when the 80s and then 90s. So it is nice and sunny. I've had to move this a few times because I've had this over 10 or 11 years, whenever they came out. I used to have it on our back deck and it was a lot more sunny, but this year I moved it to my front because I'm trying to have it have the most sun, because it does need, plants in any garden need 12, 14 hours a day of sunlight. And so to thrive. And so I've moved this around to try to get the most sunny spot in my yard.
Thank you, Janie. Well, we'll go to Doug and he can answer any questions. We can open this up to questions after this too. And you have some questions to answer in the chat as well, Janie. People want to know the name of the flower.
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, we are not going to win the Tower Garden Award tonight, Sharon, but that's an important thing to remember. Well, it kind of ebbs and flows. There's highs and lows. I'm kind of at the end of the growing stage for these basils. They're huge. I have a mixture of regular Italian basil and Thai basil. And then I did basil over here as well. So I was really working on my basil skills. I even got some basil going in a little planter over here just for fun. But that's they're about done. And I have new ones coming up. This is tarragon. This one's drooping down. And you know what, Inez, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, oh my gosh, look how long. Oh, a little piece came off. Who cares? That's okay.
It also rained really heavy too.
Yeah, it rained a lot. But then look at this. There's this one little guy that says, I'm going to go up. So maybe that's the future of my tarragon. These are jalapeno peppers. You'll see some little flowers on there. They're going to get pollinated by our friends, the bees, and they're going to grow. I'll tell you what, this right here, this cilantro, it doesn't look so hot, or it's mint actually. But actually, this is from, when you see cilantro at the grocery store, and it's planted. It's a whole plant. Mint at the grocery store. So I bought it. We use a bunch of mint for mojitos on 4th of July. And then I rinse the dirt off the roots and I put it in here just to see how it's going to do. I have, these are heirloom tomatoes and these are awesome. One just came off. We'll just save that for later. Let it ripen up in the house. But that's a few tomato plants going, and there's all kinds of tomatoes down in there, as you'll see. Some are they get red at different times, so that's pretty cool. There's even some flowers that'll get pollinated, and I'll have even more coming in. That's 4 tomato plants, probably more than I need, but it's been perfect. We just kind of keep eating our tomatoes. It's great.
Well, tell them what happened when we didn't have the pH right. You know, we just kind of had to adjust the pH and
yeah. Oh yeah. So I'll be transparent. So my pH was a little high, and I thought I was lowering it because they give you the up and down pH solution, and but I was raising it by mistake, so it kept getting higher and higher and higher. And I think that's why my basil, I don't know if they're going to come back, but they're just barely hanging on to life. It looks like there's new growth that looks happy, and maybe that's going to take over. But yeah, so I messed up, but now I got it fixed, but everything survived. You know, so that's the thing about Tower Garden. You don't have to be afraid. You just kind of experiment. I love meeting people like Inez, and this is her first run, and she's going to learn a lot, and she's going to see what plants she likes to grow, and then she's going to just grow more of the ones she likes and less of the ones she didn't like as much. So these are my new babies. I grew these from seeds about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago or so. We got some red lettuce coming in, some romaine, some new cilantro, Sharon. That's to go with the tomatoes because our daughter's been making salsa for us.
Love that.
But I'll tell you what, it's just incredible to be able to just pick food right off of your Tower Garden and make your dinner. And that's what we do. So it's pretty great.
Thank you, Dave.
Any other questions or anything?
Yeah, let's open it up for any questions about the Tower Garden or the Tower Garden home.
When you grow your tomatoes and things like that, like I saw somebody growing strawberries last night, and I wanted to know, how do they get the pollination that they need, or do they require it? I thought they did.
I can take that question. So yes, the plants that have flowers on them, you know, I don't know about strawberries, but I know tomatoes, zucchini, squash, things like that. The flowers, you have male flowers and female flowers, and they do need to be pollinated. So I'm lucky. I don't know where the bees come from, but I get, sometimes if I shake my basil, it's raining now. But if I shake my basil, you'll see like bees are actually in the basil. So it's like, oh, cool. So they're, you know, they're not aggressive or anything. They're just doing what they do, which is finding flowers, then go to the next flower, and then they pollinate. Another thing you can do with like tomatoes, you can just shake the plant. I'll just do this and shake it a little bit. Tomatoes are really good about pollinating. Whereas zucchini, sometimes if you like, you can take a Q-tip and just touch the flower and then go to the next flower and touch it. Then, so you're just touching them over and over. I actually bought one of these because, you know, Nanette had this. It looked like a good idea at the time. It's like a toothbrush, and it has like a little bee on it, and it goes bzzz, and then you pollinate with that. I'm pretty sure I wasted $12 on that though. I don't think it's necessary.
It's a fun dog toy though.
Oh, the dog goes crazy. He's excited by that thing.
It's a great toy.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay. Well, why don't you guys just, oh, go ahead.
Does anybody know if the mineral blend expires? I haven't actually looked at the tubs, the buckets of it. I'm sure it might be on there, but I'm being lazy right now. I was wondering if anybody else.
I don't, not that I'm aware. I mean, maybe over a period of like 5 years or something really long. But I buy like multiple. I mean, you can see I have 2 towers. I have one down right now, but mine, I buy like two orders of nutrients at a time, just so I don't have to do it for over and over. And I've never had any problems with it. I don't think so.
Yeah, I have some from last summer, and I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I didn't plant.
I wouldn't hesitate.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it this fall.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone who shared their towers. We really appreciate it. And we'll do this again sometime soon. Thank you. I love seeing all the towers. Enjoy growing. And we'll have this recording if you want to share with other people. All right, guys? Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.